friends. Today we are going to learn ICSE Class 6 Biology Chapter 8 Our Environment Part 2 Microorganisms, Decomposers. In addition to producers and consumers, there are microscopic organisms and worms called decomposers that are present in the soil. They feed upon the remains of dead plants and animals and in the process break them down into simple substances. Decomposers are called nature's scavengers. They decompose dead, decaying organisms and release their body minerals into the environment. These minerals are reused by plants for their growth. Thus, decomposers help not only in cleaning the environment but also in the recycling of the minerals. Abiotic components. Abiotic components of our environment include light, temperature, air, water, humidity, and soil. Life would not sustain without these components. Let us read about them. Light. Sun is the primary source of light on the earth. Not only does light serve as a source of energy, it also influences plant life in a number of other ways. In the presence of sunlight, green plants are able to make food. Light influences closing and opening of stomata, germination of seeds, flowering, and so on. Light may determine the types of plants and animals found in a particular area. The behavior of certain animals is also influenced by light. Most of the common animals that you see around can tolerate bright light and move about freely during the day. However, earthworms, termites and cockroaches cannot stand intense light. They lead a nocturnal, active at night, life. Air. Almost all living organisms need oxygen of the air for their survival. Plants take in carbon dioxide from the air and use it to make food. Nitrogen of the air is converted into nitrates by the microorganisms present in the soil. These nitrates are used by the plants. The ozone layer of the air protects us from harmful ultraviolet radiations from the sun. Air helps in regulating the temperature on the earth. Moving air is called wind. Wind helps in the pollination of flowers and dispersal of seeds. Wind increases the rate of transpiration and plays a role in the distribution of rain over a region. Water. Water is the most abundant natural resource on the Earth's surface. It is extremely important for living organisms since all the chemical reactions which occur in the body need water as the medium. Green plants need water to prepare food. The amount of water in a geographical region affects the kind of plants and animals found there. For example, desert regions which have a scarcity of water have less vegetation, whereas the western Ghats and the hills of Assam, which receive heavy rainfall, are covered with dense evergreen forests. There is a continuous cycling of water from air to land and sea, and then back to the atmosphere through evaporation, transpiration, river flow, and rainfall. Soil. Life on land depends on the soil. Plants growing on land get water and minerals for growth from the soil. Soil is home to a variety of living organisms like bacteria, fungi, worms and insects. Type of soil at a place determines the vegetation growing there. For example, dense vegetation is found at places where soil is loamy but deserts do not support plant life because of the sandy soil. Temperature. There is a wide variation in temperature on the Earth's surface. Most organisms have a specific range of temperature in which they can live comfortably. Organisms can usually survive between 0 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius. However, there are certain exceptions to this. Some bacteria can survive at temperatures as low as -240 degrees Celsius and as high as 120 degrees Celsius. The main climatic zones of the Earth are differentiated primarily on the basis of prevailing temperatures. Thus, The very hot and winterless zone is the tropical zone, the hot zone with a cool winter is the subtropical zone, and a zone with a warm summer and a pronounced winter is the temperate zone. The zone with a short summer and a long severe winter is the alpine zone. The distribution of animals and plants over the earth depends on the temperature range prevailing in different places. Did you know? Some animals like lizards, snakes and frogs remain underground and sleep throughout winter. This is called hibernation. Some desert animals, like snakes and rats, remain in a state of sleep throughout summer. This is called estivation. Check your progress 1. Write true or false. 1. The gas which prevents the entry of ultraviolet rays to the earth is ozone. True. 2. Omnivores eat both plants and animals. True. 3. Dense vegetation is found in deserts. False. 4. The very hot and winterless zone of the earth is called the tropical zone. True. Cultural components. Human beings are also part of the environment. All activities of human beings have a great impact on the environment. Today we do not live in a natural environment as we have modified it to suit our needs. It would not be wrong to say that we live in a man-made environment or a socio-cultural environment. Ongoing researches and new inventions have made our life more comfortable, but at the same time it has caused problems for the environment. We have read about how water, air and land are getting polluted because of various human activities. We are not only getting affected physically but mentally as well. Interactions within biotic components and flow of energy. Biotic components are linked with each other primarily by food. Only green plants can trap solar energy and prepare food. Thus, solar energy is converted into chemical energy of food. Some energy gets stored in plants while rest is used by them. When plants are eaten by herbivores, energy stored in plants is transferred to herbivores. Again, herbivores use some energy for their activities and store a part of it in their body. This stored energy is transferred to carnivores when they eat the herbivores. Thus, energy passes from producers to herbivores and then to carnivores as one organism eats the other. A series of organisms which are linked with each other through a process of eating and being eaten form a food chain. All food chains start with producers, and energy is transferred through these chains. The energy flows only in one direction. A typical food chain is shown in Figure 8.10. Most consumers have more than one source of food. Frogs eat caterpillars and grasshoppers. Snakes eat frogs as well as lizards, mice and rats. Rats are also eaten by hawks. Thus, a plant or animal may belong to several food chains. Interactions between biotic and abiotic components. The study of the interaction and the relationship between living and non-living things in the environment is called ecology. Though the primary link between various biotic components is food, they are also interdependent for carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, recycling of minerals and so on. Plants need carbon dioxide to prepare food by the process of photosynthesis, which is given out by the animals during respiration. On the other hand, animals need oxygen for respiration, and this oxygen is given out by plants during photosynthesis. We have already learned how scavengers recycle minerals. They decompose dead and decaying organisms and release their body minerals into the environment. These minerals are reused by plants for their growth. So, biotic and abiotic components of the environment are always interacting. Interdependence of plants and animals. Dependence of human beings on plants. We consume either some parts of plants or the entire plant as food. In fact, all the vegetables and fruits consumed by us are parts of plants. Table 8.2. Table 8.2. Some plant parts used as food. Plant, mint. Part used as food, leaves. Plant, onion. Part used as food, fleshy leaves and modified stem. Plant, potato. Part used as food, modified stem. Plant, orange. Part used as food, fruit. Plant, tomato. Part used as food, fruit. Plant, carrot. Part used as food, root. Even microscopic bacteria and some fungi like yeast and penicillium are extremely useful to us. Yeast helps in fermentation. Penicillium and many other fungi are used for producing antibiotics. We depend on plants not only for food but also for other products like rubber, paper, wood, jute, cotton, and so on. Oxygen needed by us for respiration is released by plants during photosynthesis. Plants help in maintaining a balance of gases in nature.